Have you ever felt like you're carrying a burden that no one around you can understand? Like you were chosen for something much bigger, but at the same time, this calling demands sacrifices that only you seem to bear? Being chosen by God is a mission many desire, but few are truly ready to accept. Today, you'll discover why this calling involves so much suffering and loneliness. But here's the crucial point: all of this is just part of the preparation for the extraordinary rewards waiting for you. This video is for you who have faced intense spiritual crises, who have wondered why pain seems to be a constant companion on your journey. What you might not know is that each of these battles is shaping you for something grand. God didn't just choose you, He's preparing you for a transformation that few achieve. And the most powerful part? The rewards He has in store aren't just spiritual, they manifest in your life in surprising ways, bringing peace, prosperity, and an unwavering purpose. Today, we'll explore the spiritual battles that test your faith, the sacrifices that isolate you, and how, in the end, all of this is part of a divine plan that elevates you beyond your limitations. This is the time to understand why suffering is a path to your spiritual transformation. Are you ready to discover how the rewards that come after the pain are much greater than you imagine? Being chosen by God is a burden that few truly understand. While it seems like an extraordinary blessing, this choice comes with sacrifices that can feel unbearable. The journey is lonely, often marked by deep internal battles where silence becomes your constant companion. The chosen one faces intense doubts and questions, wondering why they were set apart for such a heavy mission. In this isolation, faith is tested to the extreme, and only those who can trust God, even when there are no clear signs, can continue. Every step requires resilience. As the journey progresses, the chosen one realizes that the spiritual path demands renunciation. The internal battles aren't just against doubts, but against old versions of themselves. Ego, fear, and the need for approval start to fade away. These moments of spiritual crisis are necessary for true spiritual alignment. The chosen one begins to understand that their divine mission isn't about their own glory, but about serving a greater spiritual purpose. This understanding starts to turn the weight into strength. Yet, there are moments of darkness. The feeling of loneliness can be overwhelming, especially when no one around you understands what's happening inside. The chosen one often finds themselves without support, surrounded by people who can't grasp the depth of their spiritual transformation. But it's precisely in this emptiness that the connection with God deepens. The greater the isolation, the stronger the bond with the divine becomes. And it's this connection that begins to sustain the chosen one, even in the fiercest storms. When the weight feels too much to bear, something magical happens. An inner flame starts to glow, an unshakable faith that no longer depends on external circumstances. It's here that the chosen one discovers they are not alone. Even in the moments of greatest pain, they are being guided. Every battle, every sacrifice leads to a greater purpose. And even though the rewards may seem distant, every step of the journey is preparation for what's to come. Being chosen for a divine mission often means giving up what's most comfortable and familiar. The chosen one is called to let go of loved ones, safe environments, and even old dreams that no longer align with their spiritual purpose. These sacrifices are painful and often misunderstood by those around them. The distance created between the chosen one and the world is deeply felt, but it's in this solitude that the spirit is refined. The process of disconnecting from what once brought comfort is actually an invitation to a purer connection with God. This solitary journey is a kind of spiritual test. It's in isolation that the chosen one faces their deepest shadows, those parts of themselves that have never been exposed to the light. These moments of introspection are challenging but absolutely necessary. After all, how can someone align with their divine purpose without first shedding the illusions of the ego? Isolation forces the chosen one to rely entirely on God, creating a spiritual trust that goes far beyond what is seen or felt in the material world. However, these sacrifices are not in vain. Every renunciation makes room for something greater. It's like letting go of the ropes that no longer serve, allowing the chosen one to open the doors to receive invisible blessings. Disconnecting from people, places, and situations that aren't in tune with the divine purpose allows new opportunities and connections to emerge, ones that truly resonate with the spiritual mission. Although the path is tough, with every loss, the chosen one gains something invaluable: clarity about who they really are and what their role is in the divine plan. Despite all the pain and loneliness, it's in the silence that the chosen one finds their strength. The trials are preparation for something greater. Just as gold is purified in fire, the spirit of the chosen one is refined in the flames of isolation. This process not only strengthens faith but also forges them for the even more intense challenges ahead. They begin to understand that true spiritual growth happens through sacrifice. And at this point, the promise of divine rewards starts to emerge, waiting after the pain. Despite all the sacrifices and pain endured, the journey of a chosen one is never in vain. God prepares extraordinary rewards for those who persevere, and these blessings go far beyond the pain. Divine rewards aren't limited to the spiritual realm, they also show up in our earthly lives, bringing peace, prosperity, and a deep sense of fulfillment. However, these rewards don't come right away. The chosen one has to go through a process of growth, where every struggle strengthens their soul to receive these blessings with gratitude and wisdom. The pain that once seemed unbearable starts to take on a new meaning. Every trial brings a lesson, and over time, the chosen one realizes that the suffering was actually preparation for something greater. God doesn't test his chosen ones without purpose. He uses pain as a tool to refine, shaping their character and uplifting their soul. When the chosen one finally reaches a state of deep inner peace, they understand that the reward isn't just in the material or spiritual blessings, but also in the personal growth achieved along the way. The world around them starts to change as the chosen one aligns with their spiritual purpose. What once seemed out of reach is now within their grasp. Those doors that seemed closed start to open, and unexpected opportunities arise. Divine rewards come in surprising forms: deeper relationships, a sense of belonging, and, most importantly, an unshakable trust in God's plan. And when the mind quiets down, the soul finally finds rest, knowing that everything the chosen one went through had a greater purpose. Still, the most valuable rewards aren't visible to the eye. They manifest as inner peace, gained wisdom, and renewed faith. Every spiritual battle won, every moment of loneliness endured, leads to a deeper intimacy with the divine. It's this closeness with God that brings the greatest rewards. And when the chosen one least expects it, they realize that the pain didn't just bring blessings, but also prepared them to live a life filled with purpose, meaning, and above all, gratitude. The chosen ones face battles that go beyond what's visible. Dark forces, always lurking, constantly try to pull them away from their divine mission. These spiritual battles aren't just simple trials, they are intense internal wars where faith is tested to the core. Many times, the chosen one feels like they are fighting alone, battling an invisible weight that challenges their beliefs and purpose. But it's on this battlefield that true strength is revealed, a strength that comes directly from their connection to the divine. These challenges might show up as doubts, fears, or even temptations that promise to ease the burden of the spiritual path. However, the chosen one knows that easy answers don't lead to growth. The spiritual battle is a test of endurance and courage, where every decision made shows how committed they are to their divine purpose. During these battles, God's silence can be unsettling, but it's in that silence that the chosen one learns to trust fully, knowing that even without immediate answers, their faith is what will sustain them to the end. Just like a warrior needs armor, the chosen one must protect themselves spiritually. Prayer, meditation, and constant connection to a higher purpose are their weapons. Every challenge that arises isn't a coincidence but an opportunity to strengthen their faith and stay aligned with their mission. And even though the battles are tough and seem never-ending, each victory, no matter how small, brings a sense of spiritual renewal. These little wins are reminders that the chosen one is on the right path, even when the world around them tries to convince them otherwise. These spiritual battles, though intense, play a crucial role in the legacy the chosen one will leave behind. They not only shape their character but also prepare them for a much greater impact. Every challenge overcome serves as an example to those who follow, showing that despite the difficulties, it's possible to defeat opposing forces and stay true to your purpose. And at the end of each battle, the chosen one moves closer to the divine rewards awaiting them, knowing that every step, every struggle, is building a lasting spiritual legacy. The calling of a chosen one goes far beyond their own life. The divine purpose they carry is intrinsically linked to the legacy they will leave for future generations. By answering this call, the chosen one is not only shaping their own spiritual destiny but also paving the way for others who will follow in their footsteps. This spiritual legacy isn't something tangible, it's a living energy that inspires and transforms the people around them. Every decision, every battle won, contributes to creating something much greater, something that transcends time and space. The impact of living according to the divine purpose is felt not only in the present but also in the future generations that will be touched by their actions. Often, the chosen one doesn't immediately realize the full scope of their mission, but the truth is they are planting seeds that will bloom in the future. Their commitment to spiritual alignment resonates beyond their own life, influencing those who haven't even arrived yet. This is the power of a spiritual legacy. It continues to operate even after the chosen one has completed their earthly journey. However, carrying this purpose isn't easy. It's a mission that demands daily courage and commitment. The chosen one needs to stay steadfast, even when the rewards seem distant and the spiritual battles drain them. But by staying true to their mission, they discover that the real legacy isn't just in external achievements but in the transformation that happens within themselves. This process of spiritual growth and rebirth becomes the living example others can follow, and it's this that perpetuates their impact. The legacy left by a chosen one is never erased, even in the darkest storms. It serves as a beacon for those who will come after, a light that shines to guide others on their own spiritual journeys. By fulfilling their divine purpose, the chosen one understands that their mission doesn't end with them. They become part of a larger plan, whose effects extend through generations, touching lives, transforming hearts, and keeping the flame of faith alive. And so, they don't just live their purpose, they leave a spiritual heritage that will never be forgotten. For the chosen ones, adversity is much more than just a simple difficulty, it's a divine instrument for spiritual growth. Every obstacle encountered along the journey isn't just a test but an opportunity to strengthen faith and expand the soul. In the fiercest storms, the chosen one learns to depend completely on God, developing an unshakable trust even when everything around them seems to be falling apart. It is in this total surrender that they find true strength, a strength that doesn't come from the world but from their deep connection with the divine. The challenges faced are precisely shaped, designed to reveal the hidden potential the chosen one hasn't yet realized. Just as a diamond is formed under pressure, the spirit of the chosen one is refined through life's trials. Every challenge is a disguised lesson, and by overcoming it, the chosen one not only progresses on their spiritual path but also builds resilience. Adversity, therefore, isn't a punishment but a form of learning that prepares the chosen one to reach a higher level of understanding and purpose. During the toughest moments, the chosen one discovers that their faith is the anchor that keeps them steady. When external solutions fail, it's the trust in God that provides the peace needed to keep going. Adversity causes the chosen one to look inward, recognizing the power that resides in their own soul. It is through this introspection and deep connection with the divine that they grow, mature, and become even more prepared to handle the next phases of their journey. This growth is continuous, a process that transforms every pain into wisdom. As the chosen one emerges from difficulties, they realize that adversity hasn't weakened them but strengthened them. With each battle won, they become an even clearer reflection of the divine purpose for which they were called. And when they look back, they see that despite the pain and trials, all adversities led them to a state of spiritual alignment that they could never have achieved without going through those moments. Every obstacle is another step on the ladder of their spiritual evolution, bringing them closer to fulfilling their mission. The suffering that chosen ones face throughout their journey is a powerful means of transformation. Just as gold needs to be purified in fire to reach its highest value, the chosen one is shaped through trials. Every moment of pain and difficulty removes impurities from the soul, such as pride, fear, and insecurity, allowing the divine essence to shine more brightly. This process is painful but necessary. Suffering isn't without purpose. It's the path to deep transformation that can only happen when the ego is set aside and the spirit fully surrenders to the divine mission. In the heat of suffering, the chosen one begins to perceive the hidden lessons. What once seemed like a meaningless trial now reveals itself as a lesson in humility and absolute dependence on God. Pain teaches that no matter how much we try to control circumstances, true strength comes from letting go and trusting in the greater plan. And it's in this surrender that the chosen one finds new clarity, a deeper vision of their purpose. With each wound, they not only learn but are reborn, transforming into a higher version of themselves. This process of transformation is ongoing, and suffering acts as a catalyst for spiritual evolution. The trials are intense, but each time the chosen one emerges on the other side, they find themselves stronger, more resilient, and with renewed faith. It's as if each scar is a sacred mark, a reminder that they were capable of enduring, growing, and overcoming. And with this new strength, the chosen one moves ever closer to fulfilling their divine mission, ready to face spiritual battles with a confidence they once didn't have. At the end of each cycle of suffering, the chosen one is no longer the same. They are now closer to God, more aligned with the divine purpose, and more aware of their role in the grand spiritual plan. Suffering refines them, not to make them perfect, but to make them conscious of their true essence and the power they carry. The final transformation is a spiritual rebirth, where the chosen one, freed from old limitations, rises with new strength, ready to fulfill their mission with clarity, purpose, and a faith that transcends any adversity. Every sacrifice you make, every battle you face, is shaping something much greater within you. Being chosen isn't easy, but now you know that suffering is just the beginning of a powerful transformation. Everything you've been through is preparing you to receive extraordinary rewards, ones that go beyond what the eyes can see. Don't give up. Your purpose is greater than any momentary pain, and the divine rewards waiting for you are proof of that. So, I ask you, are you ready to embrace the weight of being chosen and receive everything God has prepared for you? Share your experiences, your battles, and how you felt this spiritual calling in the comments. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. If this content touched you, like the video and subscribe to the channel for more insights on the spiritual path. Your journey is just beginning, and together we will discover even more about the rewards that come after the pain.